at Saints training camp, Metairie, Louisiana, with quarterback Taysom Hill. Taysom, for those who have not been here throughout the offseason, what is it like to walk into your locker room and to walk out to practice without Drew Brees?
Man, it's different. You know, like you said, I've been here for 4 years, and all those years were with Drew. He set the expectation. He set the routine, you know, all that stuff. And so it definitely took some getting used to. But I think for all of us, you know, we all have this mentality that, man, we're here to compete and win and do all that stuff. So I think it's been a smooth transition so far, and I think it's created opportunities for a lot of guys to step up.
You were always like seated at the right hand of Drew Brees. You loved taking coaching from him and just sort of following him around. And I wonder, as you try to win this quarterback job, what do you take from him? What sort of words from him kind of ring in your head as you try to win this job?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think the things that I learned from Drew is not what he said to me, I would say. I think the thing that's unique about Drew is a guy that's been doing it for this long, that was towards the end of his career when I first got here. I think it would have been easy for him to say, like, hey, I'm doing my own thing. You know, like, you take care of yourself, but I've got my routine. I know what I'm doing. But Drew allowed me in. He allowed me to follow him. He allowed me to observe everything that he did. And so for me, as I stepped into this situation this year, I had this format of, you know, I knew exactly what to do, how to prepare for practice, how to approach each practice, how to prepare for a game. And it was because of Drew allowing me to observe him. And that was the greatest thing that he could have ever done for me.
You've been known since you've come into the NFL as sort of the ultimate gadget guy. You can do a little bit of everything. And now you're trying to do something that only 31 others do, which is to be a starting quarterback. And I wonder, what do you think you have really worked on the most to prepare for the opportunity to be an every down quarterback?
Yeah, I think, you know, to play quarterback at this level, you know, boils down to a couple things, in my opinion. And it's being able to make the right decision, to make the right throws at the right time. So as I approach this offseason, you know, certainly from a decision-making standpoint, I was watching film. You know, I studied Drew's film this offseason. My workout structure was completely different than what it's been in the past, and it was all geared towards throwing motion, core mechanics, and that sort of thing. So I tailored all of my offseason to have, you know, and be able to, you know, do everything that I needed to do at this position.
Do you believe that a quarterback in the NFL today can have a long life being a move-around guy, a Mike Vick guy, kind of what you have done early in your career when you've played quarterback? You are not stapled to the pocket. You're running around. Can you have a long life playing that way?
I hope so. You know, I think, you know, historically there's not a lot of guys that have been able to do it, so I think it's a fair question. But I think as you look across the NFL, there are a lot of guys that are now doing that. I think, you know, a guy that comes to mind is Russell Wilson. You know, Russell Wilson is a guy that makes a lot of plays with his feet, and I think he's been able to manage it really well of making plays with his feet, eyes downfield, where a lot of their big plays, you know, come from that. Aaron Rodgers is another guy that makes a lot of plays with his feet, makes a lot of things happen. And so for me, as I look at it, it's trying to find that balance of extending the play when you need to, knowing when you need to throw it out of bounds. And I think if you find that right balance like those guys have, you know, you can certainly play the position for a long time.
Everybody's going to say, we got a great quarterback room. I'm getting along great with Jameis. Jameis will say, I'm getting along great with Taysom. What is the relationship like, you know, stripped down, bare bones? What are you and Jameis like together?
Yeah, you know, I think I guess from the outside world, it probably sounds strange, but I really do feel like we support each other. And so I think, it'd be easy for people to say like, yeah, right. You guys aren't coaching each other. You guys aren't working together. But I would say from day one when Jameis got here, that's been our relationship where, we were always working together with Drew. We added insights for Drew when he was playing. That was kind of the expectation. That's how our relationship was. Jameis did that for me when I was playing, when Drew was out last year. And as you fast forward into this year, that has not changed. And there's been so much conversation outside of this building around this QB competition. But I would say we're competing to be, the best Jameis, the best Taysom that we can possibly can. And, he's been helpful for me when I'm playing and his perspective from when he was playing. And I've done the same for him. And I think for us, the expectation of winning football games has not changed. And that's what the purpose is.
Last thing, is it possible in today's football to, in essence, have a two-headed monster at quarterback, to kind of split the baby, to have you in X percent of the snaps and Jameis in X percent? Could that ever work, do you think, in the NFL?
I'm not sure. There's not a scenario that comes to mind, that's proved that has worked. I think what we've done here as of late has been maybe the closest thing to doing that. But I think it takes the right people, to do it. It takes the right coaches, and I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you there. But I know what we will do here is we're going to put the best thing on the field to give us the best chance to win.
Taysom Hill, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.